You know, my philosophy is everything goes from positive to negative, breathing in and breathing out. So the next lifetime, I believe you end up as a male. You know, the older we get.
So you think next lifetime you're going to be a woman?
You have to go to the feminine.
You really believe that?
Oh, my goodness. That's the only way there would be equanimity.
Bruh, look at PVD's face. Even he know that this is crazy.
Maybe at 57, this is just what happens, you know, but it's a good thing now.
How do you deal with your mortality? Does it mess with you? Are you accepting it? Are you cool? How do you deal with your mortality?
I recognize that there's no such thing as death because the energy, you know, the wave crests up and then it drops into a trough and then it reforms up again. But even when it drops in a trough, it's still there. But it's just an unseen part of it. You know, there's no real death. Everything that comes from us ends up still feeding the next thing, and all living things feed off of living things. So it's a transitional process.
Oh, okay. So if there's no real death, then there's no real life? That makes sense, Terrence. That would be the logical entailment to that, because then what is life if there isn't any death? That makes a lot of sense, Terrence.
And like when I met my wife, just touching her leg on my leg at night is what will help me go to sleep. It felt like her and I had been looking for her for 1,000 lifetimes and didn't know that I had been looking for her.
Bruh out here simping bad. Oh, when I met my wife, it's like I've been looking for her for 1,000,000 lifetimes. Bruh, sit down, man. Like, all right, bruh, you love her. Cool, good. You're supposed to love her. But all this extra stuff, this ain't helping you get boxed, bruh. And a lot of young men fall into the mindset of thinking men and women are the same in the same way that women love you, you're supposed to love them. No, men, you're not there to fall in love with your woman the way that she fall in love with you. There's a duty. You understand reality. The chick doesn't really understand reality. She lives life on easy mode. Like, think about it. Women will never be able to understand anyway because they're in a privileged position and they can sell a body part. That's how it's been since the beginning of the time. They can rely on a body part. Oh, I can't eat. Well, let me sell this. If a man can't eat, he just can't eat. He has to go out there and become something in order to eat. There's always been a burden of performance on men from a relationship perspective, from a societal perspective, from a culture perspective. Men pay for the first date. Well, why is that a tradition in culture? Because men have the burden of performance to protect and provide. Just pay for the first date. Women don't understand the male's experience. So loving a woman like she loves you, being all extra lovey-dovey. And I'm not saying you can't be romantic for your woman, but it's a way you go about that. This can get talking some crazy stuff. Oh, I need to rub my leg next to hers in order to go to sleep. Like, what are you, a baby again? That's what babies got to do. Matter of fact, my little daughter already grew out of that. She don't even need to be coddled up to fall asleep. Like, throw that little baby in the bed. She be all right. She learned how to self-regulate her own emotions already. This nigga can't even self-regulate his own emotions. He need his woman to do it.
I felt eternity at that moment.
All right, fellas, mission is critical. I was searching my name online and found tons of information that was way too personal. So I thought to myself, who has the ability to leak this type of information? And I found out there's companies called data brokers that profit out of selling your information to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. You already know I've been through many matrix attacks where people create fake pages of mine by using my data. And the same can happen to you. That's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep them off of these sites. They also do other things like bank fraud, identity theft alerts, and also VPN access. I want you to go ahead and utilize my link below in the description box for a 14-day free trial. At least you'll see if you've been compromised or not. Privacy is key nowadays, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link in the description box at aura.com/nofugazi and get 2 weeks free. That's more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed.
And knowing that, okay, yeah, this is starting to crack. The seams are starting to be seen in this. It means in a minute I get to relax again. I get to go back to sleep. And then when I'm reborn, and you know my philosophy is everything goes from positive to negative, breathing in and breathing out. So the next lifetime, I believe you end up as a male. You know, the older we get, what happens? Our testosterone drops, our estrogen levels rise, our prostate, which has the same fibers or tissue that the uterus has, it begins to swell. And like women that typically go through their period and all of that, our bodies, when we lose our testosterone, is slowly becoming more effeminate. Naturally, you know, we get older, we got to try not to grow boobs as men. You know, we get softer and all that. So I think in the next lifetime, you don't breathe in twice without breathing out once, so you go from masculine to feminine.
So you think next lifetime you
Hold up. Let's just rewind. Now, here's the part where when people don't know how to think, it's not always low IQ, it's that you don't know how to truly think. You can get some truth, but then you'll jump to a conclusion based off of truth that you have. Like you'll have a description of reality. Like, okay, it is true as when a man gets older, his testosterone does decrease, but this doesn't mean that he becomes a woman. Why did you jump to that conclusion? Oh, well, as the man gets older, he's basically becoming a woman. No, dumb conclusion, because you don't know how to think. Then essentially he's making the argument that in this lifetime, you're a man, but in the next lifetime after you die, since there isn't death really, there's like not even life, there's just like things always interchanging. If you're a man in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, you're a woman. Let's see if that's what he truly says.
going to be a woman.
Breathing out once, so you go from masculine to feminine.
So you think next lifetime you're going to be a woman?
You have to go into the feminine side.
You really believe that?
Oh, my goodness. That's the only way there would be equanimity. Otherwise, you know, you can't breathe in twice.
Bruh, look at PBD's face. Even he know that this is crazy. Like, all right, man, we thought you was on to something, like, okay, with the whole 1 times 1 not equaling 1 because, you know, the times is a multiplier, so we looking to multiply. But, you know, he really didn't understand that that's just like adhering to the first law of logic, which is the law of identity. So it's 1 meaning 1 times 1 is identifying as itself. He couldn't understand that. But, you know, he's like, all right, whatever, bro, whatever. I think I see what you're going with the whole 1 times 1. It's like, maybe I see what you're saying, but it's like, whatever. But now this guy is saying that men do transition to being a woman in another lifetime. See what happens when you can't understand basic logic? You become illogical. Your thoughts aren't rational anymore.
Or 3 times without breathing out once. It has to be the ebb and flow. The cloud moves forward a little bit, then the cloud takes a step back, and then it pushes 2 forward, and then it takes a step back. So that equanimity, I think, allows for karma to take place, because what we've done in this lifetime as males will be done to us in the next lifetime as females. And sooner or later, you learn how to be extra medium and stay right in the center.
And you see what he's doing? He's like conflating all of these ideas together to make it makes sense to him for his ideology. Because once again, he believes in karma. He believes in everything ebb and flows. And, you know, if this happens, the energy just transfers over to here. Some of these things can be scientific as far as energy really never dies. It just changes. But are we just energy? Do men and women have the same ontology? Do men and women actually have the same nature? No, we don't. So he's conflating all of these ideas, and he's incapable to make clear distinctions within his own ideas. And he's actually making an argument for transgenderism, because it's like, if it's the case that you're a male in this lifetime and when you die, you're supposed to come back as a female. Well, what happens if you don't and that transition doesn't happen? Well, then one can make the argument that I was a male in my last life and now I'm supposed to be a female. And you know what? I feel like I'm in a wrong body, Doc. Mom, Dad, I feel like I'm in a wrong body. I think I'm supposed to be a female. I'm trans. I feel like a woman. I think I do. And his ideology is making an argument for that, because that's the logical entailment of his position. If it's the case that we reincarnate, all males reincarnate as females, all females reincarnate as males, well, then it could be a problem within that transition. Something could go wrong and he was supposed to be a woman, but he's in a male's body. So therefore, there's really no distinction between male and female, man and woman. There's really no distinction because, you just come back as the other thing. This is lunacy.
And not do too much,
You really believe this?
honestly.
When did you come to this conclusion?
Maybe
Oh,
about
man.
10 years ago. 10 years ago. Just
What
looking,
prompted it?
just looking at the,
What prompted it is prioritizing the woman's way of thinking, right? That's what prompted it. You want to make all the women in your life happy. So it's like, well, how can I make them happy? Well, listen, baby girl, when I die, I'm going to come back as you. This nigga dumb. Oh, man, like, I gave him grace, and I was like rocking with him a little bit. Like, okay, he's trying to challenge science. He's trying to challenge these norms that we believe in, right? He's trying to challenge the establishment of science and math and things. Okay, all right, well, all right, maybe they got some things wrong. But it's like, nah, man, you all wrong. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.